powered by Riverside.
That's right. Don't do that, though.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Live from the Bench. It's your boy GQ, and I'm joined with Boulevard.
I'm here too. I don't know what all that was. I was just trying to. Yeah, what's good? What we doing today, yo?
We're gonna talk a little bit about because the schedules came out, so we're gonna talk about the schedules.
Oh
and then we're gonna talk about the Eagles. I don't care about anybody else. We're gonna talk about the Eagles.
31 teams.
Yeah, we're gonna give you guys a little prediction of what we think is gonna happen this season with the beautiful Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Go ahead and sit down and go say go birds. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into it, Boulevard, you got anything you want to let the world know?
I don't know. I think everybody knows David Johnson retired. Not that that's anything important, but that's all I got. I think that's the only news on my timeline.
Okay, props to him, being able to spend time in the NFL, regardless of how his career went. Good job.
It was only relevant because he ran all over Philly one year.
Yeah.
And he got traded for D-Hop. Other than that, mere footnote in the history of football. But he had a solid career. His family's well off. He's good to go.
Yeah, I guess so. If I was in the NFL, my family never seen me at my ass again. You will not know where I live. But be that as it may, we're going to get into the Philadelphia Eagles schedule.
If you were in the NFL and you would think you would be able to hide from your family, but we would know what team you're on.
You would know what team I'm on.
Where you are. You're somewhere within 20 miles of that stadium. You live somewhere within 20 miles of that stadium.
Yeah, you're not finding me, bro.
You wouldn't be hard to find. You don't even blend in good.
Listen, I'm going to tell you because I know it can happen. I know it can work because peep it. I lived in Vermont for like 8 years and nobody found me.
Because nobody cares. It's Vermont.
Exactly. If I was in the NFL, I could hide. If people who knew, and that's the thing about our family.
Denver.
I could.
Yeah, you'd be like, what, one of 6 black people in Denver or the surrounding areas? Yeah, you're gonna stand out. You're gonna stand out in Boston. Okay? You're gonna stand out in fucking Tampa Bay. You're gonna stand out in Jacksonville. Some of these teams you can't you stand out in some of these cities.
But here's the thing: the reason why I feel like we could hide from our family in particular, is because half of them don't watch football, so we don't even know that we was playing football.
They know. There was money involved. They know.
Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it for week 1, where probably one of the most weirdest games, and because for one, week 1 for the Eagles is gonna be in Brazil on Peacock.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be streamed on the regular channels, but it's gonna be on Peacock. And Boulevard has to blow his nose.
Yeah,
Ew.
Alex, I hate this fucking time of year. Kobe. Anyway.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in Brazil. Yeah, a Brazil game where neither team can wear their primary color, which is hilarious to me. So there's so much confusion in that because, for one, I always thought Brazil was one of those places you don't go because cartels. I don't know. I'm wrong. I could be wrong. If you're from South America, please let me know because I don't know. I had never been. I don't plan on going either. But because of their rivalry with another soccer team, they can't wear green. Insane. Crazy. Hold on 1 second. No.
So yeah, he was asking about crime. I don't know if he paused it or not. No, he did not. Okay. So, yeah, crime is I mean, it's pretty bad if you're in Philly to begin with. I mean, that's 71% higher than the national average here. And you know, we gun crazy, so that average is pretty high. I mean, what was that number again?
Insane.
Okay, 38 per 1,000 residents is the crime in Philly. It's 21.26 per 100,000 in Brazil. One of the highest numbers of intentional homicides at 57,000. But that's an entire country, not a city. So, yeah, it's bad there. But it's bad everywhere. Let's be real about it. It's bad everywhere. Anywhere they're letting guns play around with kids and people, there's crime. There's more crime. So, no surprise.
Yeah. So, basically, both teams will be wearing alternate colors. So, I'm guessing Eagles will wear their all-black unis. Packers will wear the yellow alternates, the piss yellow alternates. Maybe even wear a Swiss cheese jersey. I don't know.
Yeah. As long as they stay out of the favelas, they should be safe. Yeah.
I think this is going to be an interesting game because Jordan Love is officially starting the season, and there's no doubt that he's the starting quarterback. We know last year everybody was questioning whether Jordan Love was the quarterback or if he can actually do it. And I think they've answered the question. He's answered the question like, yeah, this is my team. I could do this. I could do this. I mean,
he showed something last year, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the playoffs, so I think this is definitely
not just in the playoffs. They got a playoff win.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to go on a streak at the end to even make the playoffs, but they got there.
Yeah,
and got a win over Dallas.
Woo-woo. Shout out to them.
Just for beating Dallas. Thank you, Green Bay. But y'all ain't winning in Brazil. Where are you?
Yeah. This isn't going to be a win. They have a solid defense, but the receiving court, I don't care what anybody thinks about Mr. Wicks or Watson. They're not that great of an offense or receiving core. I think that their bright spot is Josh Jacobs on their offense, but they're just too shaky. No, honestly, I think Josh Jacobs still young, but the way he produced in Oakland or Las Vegas, where they just put the ball, like they jammed the ball down his throat. He had so many carries that would not be surprised if he has so much wear and tear on his body that he can't produce in the winter in that Green Bay weather or be what Green Bay wants him to be.
That at all, but he should be exactly what they're looking for that kind of weather. I mean, he's a big boy. He's a between the tackles kind of runner. That's what you need when it's cold. You just need somebody that can just run straight ahead, and not just fall down immediately. That hits the hole quick.
Yeah, I think that will be great if that's what they're looking for. But I feel like when you're beat up so much, and I feel like that's what he's going to be. He's got so much wear and tear in Oakland that's going to interfere with his ability to do what Green Bay may want him to do. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I can only make my predictions from what I understand, and let's hope that he's healthy enough or physically able to carry that load.
Yeah. At least in the Philly game.
Yeah. He's going to need it because everybody's going to be in unfamiliar territory down in Brazil.
Oh, yeah. Us as fans, we ain't going to know what the hell's going on when we hear the crowd going crazy. We're not going to understand the chants or any of that. We'll be just as lost as everybody else. It'll be like Fly Eagles Fly in Portuguese or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I predict a win for Philadelphia.
Right. I don't. I have the Eagles taking a loss. I don't know why. I had it all undefeated. I had them not losing a single game. I had to find somewhere where they could possibly lose. And in Brazil, first week of the season, yeah, that could be an upset right there. That's as good as time as any to take a loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, we have Atlanta. I don't see any reason why Philadelphia would lose this game. Atlanta's have old grandpa as a quarterback. The guy who's probably one of the biggest thieves in the history of the NFL. He's a bigger thief than Jamarcus Russell, in my opinion.
More worse than Sam Bradford?
Bigger thief, because he's just getting money everywhere he goes, and he's not worth the money.
Like Sam Bradford.
Yeah, but Sam Bradford was dookie. He was horrible. Yes. Kirk Cousins, I wouldn't go as far as saying that Kirk Cousins is horrible. I feel like Kirk Cousins is just a run-of-the-mill. Yeah, he's mid. Yeah. Bradford was dog dookie. He was bad, and he was stealing money. Cousins is stealing money, and like at 38? I think he's 2 years older than me. 38 years old. You should not be paying any quarterback that much money at 38 years old. Jesus, especially when you're rebuilding. You don't put that much money into a quarterback when you're rebuilding. No. Jesus, that's a win from.
I don't know how they think they're ready to win now. They don't really have an roster that's set to win. Not defensively. I mean, they have pieces on offense, but those pieces haven't proved anything yet. Like, we haven't seen anything close to what we expected out of Pitts. We haven't seen what we expected out of London. Robinson came out hot, but that's the only one. Like, we're disappointed by that whole offense, which is why they had to go and replace Ritter with fucking Cousins. And we know Cousins is the most mid quarterback in the NFL. Like, he's exactly number 16. He's the middle of the pack as they get. So, yeah. I don't expect much out of them. I expect improvement because they have a steadier hand behind the center, but I don't expect much. This might even be a blowout.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I agree.
I'm trying to learn Fly Eagles Fly in Brazilian.
In Portugal.
Voy Ogias Voy. Y'all remember that?
Okay.
That's Fly Eagles Fly in Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish. I don't know.
All right, now we're going to travel out into New Orleans, where the Eagles will face the Derek Carr-led Saints. For me, this is a win. You know how I feel about New Orleans. New Orleans stinks. It smells like Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, Lord. I thought it smelled like Faison Love.
Hey, that's what he smells like. It smells like swamp.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, there's nothing about New Orleans that excites me or interests me. I feel so bad for Chris Olave because Derek Carr is even more mid than Kirk Cousins.
Oh, I got him lower than Kirk Cousins, definitely.
Yeah, he's like, if Kirk Cousins is the middle of the pack, Derek Carr is almost as bad as his brother at this point.
Right.
Because you've got just so much.
No.
Yes.
His brother.
I'll say this because
I'm so glad they don't consider David Carr one of the biggest busts in NFL history. Like, they refuse to give him that, but he should be up there with Jamarcus. He really should.
I definitely say that he is.
And unsuccessful as Bull was. It didn't matter if he had the skills. You didn't see the skills. Like, their records are probably similar as fuck too. Because David Carr wasn't getting them to the playoffs. He wasn't winning shit with David Carr. So I don't see any difference. I don't care what their pedigrees are. They both came in the league and failed and fell flat on their fucking faces.
I don't disagree.
ain't gonna tell me that David Carr was any better of a quarterback than Jamarcus Russell. That's
I
all
don't
I'm saying.
disagree.
That's all I'm saying. But they don't give him that. They don't put that on him. They keep saying Jamarcus Russell, biggest bust ever. David Carr's right the fuck there. And they need to acknowledge that shit at some point.
Oh, hell yeah. Derek Carr done nothing.
Derek Carr, one playoff game in his career. Okay, one playoff game. That's it in his entire career. So we can go ahead and not prop him up like that because he ain't shit either. He ain't a winner. Derek Carr?
Yeah, didn't he back up Eli?
That's David Carr. David got a ring. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about.
Derek Carr. See,
yeah,
they the
Derek
same
Carr.
people,
No,
in my
you're right.
opinion.
David got a ring. Yeah, forgot all about that. It wasn't his work though.
No, he wasn't. He dog shit.
One playoff game, and he lost that game. I cannot see the who for some reason, but he lost that game. So he's not anything special either. So y'all can go ahead and drop that. We can't expect much out of New Orleans because, yeah, even though they had a point differential, a point plus 75, which is equivalent to an 11-win team, they finished 9-8 against the playoffs. So even if Carr came out on fire at his best, this team is still built to underachieve. So you can't expect much out of it unless they get the right in there to push them and motivate them and get them to play with a fire in their ass, and they can actually get some wins instead of taking losses in games they should have won. But can't really expect that till the season starts, and they do that on the field. So,
and what's crazy is because a lot of people who are New Orleans Saints fans, they will say if Jameis Winston was starting, the Saints probably would have had a better chance at making the playoffs.
it's possible.
And I think that's hilarious to me. Mr. Eat the W. Eat the W.
Right?
He gonna open his door and something gonna come in.
Everybody's giving him crap over one season because he had a lot of picks, but he was solid mostly outside of that. I mean, got to act like he's as bad. He's the one that won. No, Jameis Winston is a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL.
Jameis Winston is probably one of the best teammates in the NFL.
Yeah.
All right. I got the Eagles winning that game. No question. That might even be a blowout.
Okay. Well, yeah. I have Eagles. Where are we now? Saints?
Saints.
Yeah, I got them at this point. They're 2-1. Yeah,
Eagles 2-1.
Yeah, they got the win here and in Atlanta.
Okay. So now we're going back to Philly versus Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
The revenge game from the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia needs this one. They want this one. I got Philly winning. I am not. Baker Mayfield had a fluke year, and I feel like, and I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I wanted to see him succeed. Do have a good year. It doesn't continue. No Canales, I think that's his name. Their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's in Carolina.
Canales
now.
is going. He's Carolina's head coach, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see Baker Mayfield having the same magic he had last year.
Doesn't he still have those weapons? Outside, at least, on the perimeter?
Yeah, he does, but I feel like both of those guys are a shell of their former selves. They're not going to do the same thing. I think it's time to move Mike Evans to tight end. I think it's time.
Might as well just let him ride it out now. What's the point? Where you get like 3 years out of him? That's about all he's got left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
I mean, he's still essentially unguardable because he's big as fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not excited for I don't see Baker Mayfield having the same match. I don't see Tampa Bay because I feel one thing, and that's one thing that people got to understand, that no matter how, like Jalen Hurts, and a lot of people are saying that Jalen Hurts isn't good. It's like you're failing to. It's like when people are saying they're looking at his passing numbers and they look solely at his passing numbers, and his passing numbers are pretty average. But take take his passing numbers and consider what he fully brings to the game. Because what Jalen is bringing to the game is something completely different. There's nobody else. I've never seen a quarterback. How many rushing touchdowns did he get? Like 18 or something like that?
Something like that. Some huge number.
Like, he was insane. You're not getting that from anybody else. So taking consideration
push with any other quarterback.
Yeah, like you can't.
Most of his rushing touchdowns came from, didn't they?
So you take that and then you take what he brings to the game, and I think you have to start giving Jalen Hurts his respect. We got that guy, Joey Bag of Donuts, every game, every week. I'm a big Eagles fan.
Shout out to Joey Bag of Donuts.
And then you sit there and say our quarterback is bad. Sit here saying the guy that took us to the Super Bowl, and what was that, his first year as a full-time starter?
I think so.
Took us to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to sit here and say he's garbage. Jesus Christ. I mean,
before that season, there were a lot of questions. If you remember the season before, there was a big concern because he couldn't complete passes over the middle. I mean, there were a lot of flaws in Hurts' game that first year, but he was a great teammate and he was a great leader, and that mattered in crunch time and in the huddle, and he got those people to follow him. Mm-hmm. So they had success. Like, it's always been successful. He's always been successful. Mm-hmm. So whatever he does works. Yeah, he's got flaws. Every quarterback has flaws.
Yes.
But his flaws are fixable, and he's shown the ability to fix them.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about what he was. I'm more hopeful for what he's going to be because he's nowhere near a finished product. He's what, 24, 25?
Mm-hmm.
He's nowhere 25. Near a finished product. Quarterbacks, like, he's still got 13 more years in the league. If he really talks to some quarterbacks, he's got 13 years left. So we can't worry about this product because this guy today in minicamp is going to be way better. Kind of like Christmas. He's going to be even improved compared to 2 years ago when he damn near got us a ring. He's going to be improved. My concern with this game is Tampa Bay beat us last year. They kicked our ass in the playoffs. So they had a formula to beat Hurts. Tampa Bay has actually won their division 3 years in a row. They're a successful franchise. They're a good franchise right now. They're not an actual true contender. They're probably on a downswing because they're getting old. But they were good enough last year to stomp our team out. So our team needs to be ready to return the favor in kind and stomp them out with both feet and their home stadium and stomp on the damn pirate ship and crumble that. They need to destroy that stadium out of spite because they got their asses whipped last year. And most of that whole offense is returning. So they got to feel that shit. They got to feel it. They got to feel like, yeah, we went out and we scored 9 fucking points against a 9-8 team. They should feel some type of way. They should be mad. They should be ready to beat the hell out of Tampa in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Used to say that, well, I got them winning, but they may not. They could not. It's very possible. They just got beat by this team in their last game. So it's very possible they could lose to them again. Mm-hmm. I mean, if that defense doesn't show up early in the season, that's definitely going to be a loss for us.
Oh, if the defense doesn't show up at this season, then
if the defense don't show up, we're coming out the gate 1-3.
Yeah,
heads are going to be rolling then because we ain't got no patience for 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
So no.
All right, now we're gonna go to week 5. Oh yeah, we got to buy. So since we got to buy, if you're watching still, hey, do me a favor, go hit the subscribe button and go ahead and like the video before we get into week 6. We'll wait. All right, thank you. Week 6, we're going to Cleveland.
Boy, Akias, boy. Yeah.
In Cleveland, I feel like Deshaun Watson's not going to redeem himself. He's not going to become any better than who he is the past weeks. I feel like he's been, I don't know. I don't want to say he's been exposed, but.
No, it's not him. It's not the other teams that are exposing him. It's him that's exposing him.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Jackson's beating Deshaun Watson's beating himself.
Yeah.
He's faking injuries. I mean, I'm assuming he faked that injury last season.
Mhm.
He missed half the games just because. I mean, I truly believe he faked it. But he missed all those damn games. They gave him all that damn money. He hasn't shown any take charge, any accountability, any leadership
At all.
That's supposed to be his team. Why were so many other quarterbacks starting on his team when he was able to play? Why was he the starting quarterback that you didn't see on a team that lost 45-14 to the Texans? A team that went 3-5 on the road last season and went 8-1 at home. Where is he? Is he going to be out there this year? Is he going to actually play this season? Or is he going to sit back, collect another paycheck, and fake injuries? Because if he shows up, the Browns win this game. If he doesn't show up, the Browns lose this game. Because, I mean, him at his best is enough to smash the Eagles' defense. Him at his best would run over this defense. He would embarrass this defense at his best, because at his best, he's a top 6 quarterback in the NFL. At his best. But we haven't seen his best in 2 years. So what do you assume? Where's that guy at? Is that guy ever going to return? That's the guy they gave $200+ million. That's who they were expecting. If that guy doesn't show up, it doesn't matter what the hell the Browns do, because the Browns ain't going to be shit. Last year was a fluke. 8-1 at home, as I said, 3-5 on the road. You can't win on the road. You ain't going very far to begin with. You can go win all your home games. If you ain't winning on the road, you an average-ass team. That's what the numbers say.
You just shake your daddy.
No. You can't beat the team you're supposed to beat. You're not very good.
I agree. All right, now we're going to go to...
I have that as a win for Philly, because I don't think the real Deshaun Watson shows up this year or ever again.
All right, so let's go to Daniel Jones-led offense, where Philadelphia will play the Giants in Week 7.
How did this team win 6 games last year? Like, you look at the roster, I mean, those had to be like hard-fought wins, because that roster, top to bottom, was shit.
I don't know.
They had Saquon, but what else do they have? Like, what, a couple good D linemen? There's nothing really there to get excited for even now.
That's all they had
out there with Daniel Jones at quarterback. So where's the improvement? Where's the reason to get excited for this team? There isn't one.
Yeah, that's a W for Philly.
Yeah, this is the closest thing to an easy win as they're going to get this early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Panthers are on their schedule in December. But this is the first easy win of the season.
All right, so we got it going into Cincinnati. After just beating the Browns a week prior to New York, going into Cincinnati, the Eagles playing the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Joe Burrow's been playing very scared lately, and I'm not sure what that is, what's that about, but I feel like the Eagles, if the Eagles defense shows up, I feel like there'll be enough, especially with the Bengals losing what was it, T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. I know Tyler Boyd's going. Tyler Boyd.
Higgins once out.
And they're basically down to just Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he was asking for a trade. He's very much upset with his situation in Cincinnati. He wants something to change. I don't see it changing. And I feel like the Eagles defense, if they do show up, they'll have Joe Burrow running for his life. And that is where I say that's where Joe Burrow loses this game. They don't get the ball to Jamar Chase.
I think their season kind of fell apart too, kind of like the Eagles did, because they lost Burrow in Week 11, and it was mostly all downhill from there. So I mean, they were in contention. I believe they were number 1 or 2 seed in their division, and they collapsed at the end, just like the Eagles did. They finished 9-8, except, if I'm not mistaken, they missed the playoffs. Let me see. What do I have for them? Yeah, missed the playoffs and lost Burrow in week 11. You definitely ain't going to win much without Burrow. Whoever they had at backup isn't going to hold water compared to what Boy did. So if Burrow's there, they actually have a chance. Obviously, with no Burrow, there's no chance, even with one of the best wide receivers in the league still there. And AJ, what's his name?
Jamar Chase.
His name? Yeah, Chase. Yeah, he's still there. So, I mean, Burrow to Chase always gives you a chance.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know with this one. I believe this could be a loss for Philly if Burrow is playing up to what some of us at least expect out of Burrow, Eagles could lose this game. I got them winning though.
I got Cincinnati losing. All right, next on the schedule, we have the Eagles playing the Jaguars. I feel like this is an interesting game because, but I don't know if it's still as interesting, because it's the whole Jacksonville versus, Eagles, Doug Peterson versus former team, the team you won the Super Bowl with got fired. It's not as personal as it used to be. Even though Doug has a lot of history in Philly, he was a QB's coach here, became the head coach first Super Bowl win for the organization. There is some bit of personal to it, but I don't know. I don't think Doug Peterson is the coach we thought he was, or he thought he was. And in Jacksonville, I just don't think Jacksonville's that good of a team.
Yeah, we're 9-8, missed the playoffs last season. They still got Sunshine at QB. I mean, still got a meh receiving core, meh run game. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing the mad genius that we all were supposed to believe that Doug Peterson was. I haven't seen it. We'll tell you, he probably wants to win more personally and for deeper reasons. And Philly just sees it as another game on the calendar. Because whatever he's done for us, it doesn't look like he's capable of doing it again. So maybe it was
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right time. Maybe it was just Nick Foles, the hero of the story.
And one thing I think a lot of people seem to forget about this team is they're the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're the team without a city. Like their fans don't even
local fans don't even support them. So
yeah,
why would anybody else? And it's going to be in Jacksonville, and I would not be surprised, honestly. But like 80% of that stadium is Eagles fans. Like you see more green than whatever that shade of blue green is that Jacksonville wears. Teal, but you'll see.
Listen, I'll take the trip down to Jacksonville. When is that? Let me see that date on there.
November 3rd. I mean, if you want to go to God's Trailer Park, that's fine. You go to Jacksonville for it. You don't see me there.
I would go to Dallas before I did that.
Yeah, I wouldn't sit.
And this is going to be a Sunday night game.
Dallas smells like Jerry Jones Sparks. So
yeah, Philadelphia gets another W for me.
Easy win in week 9. Jacksonville goes backwards.
All right, now we got the Eagles go into Dallas to play the Cowboys.
The who now? They playing who?
The Cowboys. Yeah. Dallas sucks. But I feel like Eagles are always going to split. I think this matchup always splits. So because it's in Dallas, for no reason whatsoever besides the fact that it's in Dallas, I give Philly their first L of the season here. And that's only because it's in Dallas. Dallas usually has a good record at home, so no reason for that to change today.
Right. Well, I'm with you on that, except it's my second loss for Philly because they lost in Brazil to Blanca and the Packers.
Okay. All right. Let's go into week 11. The Eagles take on the Commanders. And
Redskins.
Yeah.
Washington football team. The team that has no identity. Okay.
The team with no identity. Not only do they have no identity, they are in a town or area that they don't even know if they belong there. This team, 100%, they're not ready to compete yet.
No.
I say Philly wins this game. This is probably going to be only reason why I would say it's probably going to be a harder fought win because it's a divisional game and they're going to want to fight. I think because Washington's probably the only other team besides Dallas and the Eagles that, because in this division, they want to compete, so they'll probably try to compete. They still have Scary Terry. They have Jahan Dotson. So they'll probably try to compete. But I feel like
you have a brand new quarterback, brand new coach,
brand new quarterback,
brand new GM, just about a brand new owner. It's a brand new franchise.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if, Jalen Daniels carries them to a couple fluke wins this season, couple of surprises,
I wouldn't be surprised if you see that. I won't see it in Philadelphia against the Eagles, though.
4-13 last season. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually got to 6 or 7 and, came out of nowhere. Not really competing for a playoff spot, but there's always that team that's ready to upset people at the end of the season and knock them out of playoff contention. I could see that being the Redskins. Especially at week 11, yeah. I could even see this being an upset, but not this one. Maybe later on in the season, week 16, I could see that being where Commanders
I can see that too. But I don't see them taking a second loss a week after they lose to Dallas.
No, they're going to come out hot. But after that, they're going to come out angry.
Yeah,
he's not getting hurt; he's getting angry.
And because this game is going to matter, so yeah. All right, let's move into week 12. Eagles in LA. And I believe they're playing the Rams. And Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the starter because Matthew Stafford will have been injured for about 2 weeks by then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to hope I'm telling you, this is what I truly believe, that Stafford will be injured and Garoppolo will be the starter. I truly feel like this is going to be the case. Eagles are going to beat the Garoppolo-led Rams. There's nothing there for me to be afraid of. Cooper Kupp's on the down turn of his career. His skills he's not going to be that guy.
I don't know. They still have Kupp. And you could probably get 12 games out of Kupp. You still got Puka Nacua. You still got Bradford. And McVay's still there. So they're going to score points. I don't know what they're going to do on defense, as it was Aaron Donald and a bunch of idiots mostly. And now Aaron Donald's gone.
There you go, right there. That was
the peanut gallery. So defensively, who the hell knows what they expect out of the Rams? I'm not expecting much defensively. Offensively, it's going to be the same old. Their receivers are going to crush everybody. They're going to get their stats. They're going to get their numbers. And they'll probably win more than they lose, just like every year. But if they don't, let's say they go 7-10. Is McVay on the hot seat after that?
I don't think McVay's on the hot seat. I think McVay is going to resign. And here's the thing. McVay's he was young, but he spent 8 years with the same team as a head coach. I think once you spend like 8 years with the same team, it's time for you to I think I'm ready for something.
Well, then Tomlin would have been gone by now.
Yeah, but I think Pittsburgh is just used to longevity at the head coach position. I don't know how many times they fired a head coach in their life in the time.
Never.
Yeah, I think all their coaches have resigned. I think it's going to be more of the same for them. Tomlin's not going in.
4 coaches, maybe 5 coaches in their entire history. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way all these teams should be. They shouldn't be so quick acting to get rid of people.
Yeah.
They
I
should
feel like
let
when it comes to stuff like that, Pittsburgh is the example.
Yeah.
I would even go as far as to say Baltimore might even be the example. There was Billick, because I don't even know. I've only can recall 2 coaches in Baltimore. It may have been more. I don't. I remember Billick and I remember Harbaugh. I'm not sure if there was somebody.
I can't
between-
recall anybody else.
Yeah, so I feel like those teams are like the longevity of coaches is significant in that organization.
Right.
Those organizations. I think they're an example.
I think Billick had it a little easier because he had so many leaders and he had Ozzie Newsome buying the groceries. So he was put in a great situation to succeed. Can't really speak on his coaching per se, but he was put in a great situation, given a great roster, all time great defense. So his job was plenty easy.
Yeah.
And so who the hell knows? I mean, was gone. I don't know. I think Ravens win this game though. Especially since it's in Baltimore. Ravens win.
Oh wait, we're still with LA.
Oh, how the hell did I get to Baltimore then?
Because we were talking about coaches' longevity and Sean McVay. Yeah, I think Sean McVay resigned because he's just such a great mind that he could easily step away from the game and get a lot more money on as an analyst or a media personality because of how smart and intelligent he is.
That don't even matter if you're smart, though. They don't want you for your intelligence. They just want you to be a fucking loudmouth now. They don't want anybody, fans or people watching, to come away learning something.
That's not McVay.
Or learning something about their matchups or anything. They just want people yelling at each other loudly and wrongly.
I don't think that's McVay.
I don't think that's McVay either. No. I don't even know why they put Kelsey on there because he's a personality. He's not going to fit in there.
No, he's not.
Those people, like the shows or pregame shows, don't give you any information. Like you can have that in the background as noise and get all your information off your phone faster than you would get it off that television. So these pregame shows, all these talking heads that don't really contribute anything to the game anymore, even if they were ex-players or ex-coaches, they're not contributing anything here, but they're fucking mouths. And they're mostly being coached on what to fucking say. They're not giving their own opinions. So I don't care. I don't care about talking heads. Like Kelsey for doing that. If McVay does it, he's going to be just as useless as everyone else doing that. They're all useless.
Well, I got a W for Philly and LA.
Are useless. We don't. At least we try to educate people.
Yeah.
They yell at each other.
I got a W for Philly and LA.
Of course, obviously.
Eagles beat the Rams.
Detroit. They can beat Detroit last year. So
Eagles beat the Rams.
Yes, Eagles beat the Rams.
All right.
LA. Yeah.
In LA.
Yeah.
I got Eagles in Baltimore. This is for me, this is the second loss for the Eagles because again, Lamar Jackson is just way too dynamic. You can't count him out of a game. And then I feel like they're just a great team. They figure it out every year. They figure it out. And they have such a great defense that you can't just come in and assume that you can just do whatever. This is like one of the few teams I feel like can really damper what the Jalen Hurts machine is. I feel like he's like one of the only few defenses that could probably shut Jalen Hurts down as far as like running the ball. You put Pat Queen right there to spy Jalen Hurts, somebody that can keep up with him. This is a loss for Baltimore because I feel like that's one thing. You shut down Jalen Hurts, you take that ability to run for Jalen Hurts, you take that away from him, and he has to sit in the pocket. And especially when you got two guys, now you have two guys that have to learn their position now with Tyler Steen and Jurgens. You have a bigger problem. So I give Baltimore the win here.
Absolutely. Same. Again, same. I just see Baltimore as more of a complete team, and I don't. The Eagles' defense is going to struggle. I can't remember who the Ravens signed at receiver, or drafted at receiver. I'm drawing a blank on it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
did
not
they
sure.
go for a first round receiver? I swear they did. Or maybe it was just my multiple. Well, either way, they got too much firepower for Philly, just with Jackson in the backfield, because they're not going to have any way to stop Lamar Jackson once he leaves the pocket.
There's no linebacker on that team that can keep up with him. You gotta have to bring Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to keep up with him, and I don't think you can do that.
And we screwed already.
Yeah, you pull him out of where he is, you screwed yourself.
This is an L for Philly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Eagles don't really have the Eagles receiving core. You got Aguilar, Bateman, Flowers. That's it.
Oh man, that's where they added somebody. Whatever.
I can look, but I don't see anybody. Yeah, they don't have anybody. They didn't add anybody. I don't think they throw the ball all over Philly. I feel like Lamar Jackson's just so dynamic that he'll probably create opportunities for receivers. He can probably run the ball, and knowing that these Eagles DBs, they tend to bite a lot. That's where they affect them.
Yeah.
As long as they just put Nelson on his behind, I'm okay with it. All right.
They drafted Nate.
They're going to Cat.
That's who it was. Another deep.
Oh, they drafted Nate Wiggins. Yeah. All right. I got Carolina. Philly going to Carolina after the loss in Baltimore. Of course, they completely wiped the floor with Carolina Panthers.
What do you have the record at right now?
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-2.
I got them with 3 losses. All right.
Okay.
Panthers, easy win.
Easy win.
What's to say? Panthers are ass.
Yeah.
New coach, bad owner, bad quarterback.
Bad everything. They don't even have a running.
Bad everywhere.
They went and got Rashad Penny. They're bad everywhere. They just keep trying to pick up the Eagles' leftovers. It's not working for them. So that's the W in Carolina, taking them to 11-2 for me. What's that? 10-3 for you?
Damn.
Uh-oh.
4 of last 5 games at home. That's where we're in. We're in a home stretch now. Panthers is a home game. Steelers home game. Commies on the road. And they finish at home with the Cowboys and the Giants. So,
well, in Pittsburgh, I got Philly beating this game because of that quarterback position. I feel like there's just way too many questions. I don't know who's going to be under center in Pittsburgh by the time
at this point. Yeah, at this point, it's going to be.
I think it's going to be Justin.
It's going to be Fields. Yeah. I mean, because Russ is going to play himself out of the lineup.
Yeah, he's going to play himself out. If he doesn't talk himself out of it, he's going to lose all of Tomlin's confidence.
Right. They might fuck around and get Tomlin fired this year.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be very good this year.
No, not at all. I feel like you're probably going to see a lot of Pickens walking off the field angry because he's not getting the throws.
They got 10 wins last year somehow. Somehow they got the 10 wins last year with a terrible quarterback.
And I think
the first half of the season they weren't even relying on Warren; they were relying on the other running back.
Yeah, and they didn't start doing. They didn't start winning until they start putting more snaps in Warren.
So
and I feel like they're probably not going to do that. They're not going to think like, here, start Warren. They're going to stick with Najee taking most of the snaps.
Ain't no way in hell. No, Warren's going out. Warren's starting this year. Ain't no way in hell they're going to go over and rehash the mistakes that they made last season. There's no way. They don't win with big boy running the ball. They win with Warren running the ball.
It depends on who the OC is.
It ain't Canada. So they in better situation automatically. Damn, I'm over here sound like Porky Pig. No.
All right, I got another W for Philly. Now we're going back to another away game against the Commanders in Washington, D.C. Oh, this is another win for Philly. This is another
win. Mark it as a loss. I mark it as a loss.
I mark this as a win.
Late in the season, Eagles' record is they're definitely in contention, but they're going to take this. This is going to be a fail.
I'll tell you, this is going to be a win because it's still important. This is like their last 3 games of the season are division games. I feel like Dallas is going to be right on Philly's heels, and they have to win. I feel like Dallas is probably going to be like 1 or 2 games back.
Dallas ain't going to be shit. Washington's finishing second this year.
That would be nice, but I don't see them beating Philly.
No. Eagles going to be the only team from this division that makes the playoffs. Cowboys are going backwards. Redskins are on the way up. And the Giants are the Giants. We ain't expecting shit out of them. So
this is another win for me. I just not excited, I think. And then last 2 games home, Eagles beat Dallas.
Upset. I got Commies winning.
I got Eagles winning that game. Then we go back to Philly versus Dallas. I feel like the Cowboys are going to be trying too hard in Philly.
That's going to be everything. It always is.
Yeah, that's going to be.
9 times out of 10, Dallas is going to shit their pants.
You know, I remember when they used to call the Eagles-Dallas game Eagles Super Bowl, and then one year you kept hearing it a lot. They were like, oh, this is the Eagles Super Bowl when they beat Dallas. Then they went to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. You never heard anybody say that the Eagles versus Dallas is the Super Bowl for the Eagles no more. You don't hear that anymore. This is more a Super Bowl for Dallas than it is for the Eagles. Eagles beat Dallas because they're going to split. It's going to be 1-1. The series is always going to be 1-1.
Yeah.
They'll always split every single time. And then the final week of the season, Eagles versus the Giants. There's a chance the Eagles sit.
Dallas is trying to get into the playoff.
Yeah.
No.
I feel
not on mine. Not with 5 losses. I got them with 5 losses. They can't sit anybody. They can't afford to sit anybody. They're playing in position.
Yeah, I don't think they will sit anybody, even if they go, even if they're at this stage where I got them at 14-1. I mean 14-2. I don't think they'll sit anybody because it's going to be that important that you don't sit anybody. I'm not sitting anybody, no matter what my record is. I can be undefeated. I'm not sitting anybody. They'll beat New York. I think you'll probably see some Tommy DeVito at quarterback, but it's gonna be the same as the last time. A lot of interceptions. I see the Eagles chasing the Cowboys, the Giants quarterback, and this is going to mean a lot more for Saquon than anything. So, yeah, I see the Eagles finishing 15-2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that? 12-5.
12-5. That's reminiscent of last season for them.
Yeah, except this year there won't be a collapse. I mean, they got one of the 10 easiest schedules. 4 of their last 5 games are at home, and 7 of their first 10 weeks of the season are on the road. So the hard part's early in the season. So by the time they're rounding into playoff form, it's going to be mostly home games. So
I agree.
Even if it's out the gate bad, they'll probably finish the season great. Like going into the playoffs, they'll be on a roll through all this easy competition at the end.
And this, what's interesting for me is that you look at the Eagles, where the issues were with Philadelphia last year compared to this year. It fell at the coordinator's feet. And I feel like it's going to be very that issue will be exposed when you see Kellen Moore run his offense. Kellen Moore likes to run the ball. He likes to rely on running backs, which is something you haven't seen in Philadelphia for a very long time.
Very long time.
So I think you'll see a lot more running the ball and a lot of taking the pressure off that offensive line to protect the quarterback, because you'll still have that fear. Because that's one thing you've had in Philadelphia, you haven't had, and I don't know how long since Shady maybe, of the fear of the running back that's in the backfield.
Right.
One thing people are not going to do is sit there and be like, "Oh, it's just Saquon Barkley." No, that's exactly the problem. It's Saquon Barkley.
Miles Sanders getting the ball. No one was afraid of that.
Yeah, no one was afraid of that. It's no way you could.
But he wasn't putting fear in nobody's heart.
Yeah, he wasn't even. I wasn't even scared of him. I wouldn't even be afraid of him when he got out in the open field. He wasn't catching passes. That wasn't. And they always said that Saquon Barkley. I mean, not Saquon. Miles Sanders' strong suit was that he didn't fumble and he blocked. We don't need that. I mean, it's good. It's a good quality, but what we need is a running back that can running back. And in your entire career, only 1,000-yard season, that's problematic. And then somebody, what's his name? Swift came here one season with the team, took your spot and got 1,000 yards. Telling.
That's right there. He wasn't doing his shit right.
Yeah.
Somebody walk in to do your job better than you was doing something wrong.
So I feel like there's just there's a big change. You're not going to have that offensive coordinator issue. Brian Johnson, you see the difference between Brian Johnson and Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is very good at finding that talent, the skill set in Jalen Hurts. And I feel like he's going to spend some time with Jalen Hurts to try to like, hey, what's your strong suit? Because I don't feel like Brian Johnson really tried to make adjustments. I felt like he just wanted to do what he was doing. And that's the problem. I feel like in both the offensive and defensive coordinator with Vic Fangio is an intelligent guy. Hey, he said this is where he wanted to be. He said he wanted to finish his career. Yeah, so I'm excited. I want to see what's going to happen. I stick to my 15-2. I think the most Eagles. I think the lower the worst they can go this year, if they do everything right, is 13-4. That's the worst. 13-4, because they're too good of a team. Too good a team. I cannot.
You don't even know what the defense is going to look like. I mean, sure, we got a lot of new pieces in the secondary, but that's what they are right now. They're new pieces. We don't know how they're going to perform together.
True.
We don't even know for certain what the lineup's going to look like. And realistically, we know it's going to change. Like what is going to start well, it's going to be the same thing by week 10.
Yeah, I feel like Nakobe Dean will be on the bench and Trotter will be taking his spot.
See, if that's happening, those are bad. Those are bad scenarios. We don't know what that defense is going to be. If that defense looks like it did last season, we're getting a lot more than 5 fucking losses this year. It's like we're going to lose way more of these games. This offense isn't going to be able to save the defense every week like it tried to do last season.
And that's why we have Boulevard, ladies and gentlemen, to bring us back down to earth.
Yes. Don't expect the top 10 defense. Maybe top 15. I mean, Fangio's good, but I mean, right now all we got are names on paper.
And
some of those names haven't performed up to par so far. And as far as the free agents we brought in, there's a reason their teams didn't bring them back. So
true.
Let's not get all hyped up and think we got a top defense, because we don't know that.
We don't know that.
We have a solid offense. We also know we don't have a very deep offense.
True.
If Saquon goes down, and he will, who do we have at running back?
Kenny G.
Screwed. If AJ goes down, who steps up?
Johnny Wilson, baby.
See, screwed. So let's not get too far excited over
So,
what this team did, because
let's
this
just say
one
this.
injury from missing the playoffs completely.
And that's going to be something that we're going to have to go back into, something that we've been saying for a long time, Howie. And I think that's a problem. That's something that we have to also look at is with the coaches, is if coaches hire positional coaches, who's in charge of hiring their positional coaches? Because the fact that Aaron Moorhead has been a receivers coach in Philly for so long, that's a problem.
I never understood how you get, like, you look at these teams with ex-NFL players have position coaches, which I love. But then you got, like, unsuccessful players coaching these positions. Like, how can you tell someone else when you fail to do it?
Yeah.
How can
You can't
make
teach
somebody
me how to
better
catch a you led the league
who's
in
already
drop.
in the pros when you didn't get better in the pros?
Yeah.
Like, what is Todd Pinkston, for example, going to teach anyone?
At running backs, coach the boot.
Right. What is he going to teach anyone? What is Aaron Moorhead going to teach anyone?
How to
The
catch
only
the ball behind your
success
back.
he had was because Peyton fucking Manning was his quarterback.
That is exactly what he used. He used that to
What is he telling anybody? What is he going to tell A.J. Brown? What is he going to tell Devontae Smith, who's more of a
that's just the
speed
thing.
guy? What is he going to tell anyone?
thing. That's the thing. That when you have guys that are that good, some position coaches don't bother coaching them because they're like, well, he's A.J. Brown. He doesn't need to be coached. And
Yes, he does.
yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I think that's where a lot of people fall into those issues. You have to have position coaches that have actually had back, like somebody I would say maybe not a great receiver throughout his career, but definitely somebody I would listen to. Wes Welker. If he was my position
I'm
coach,
thinking Wes Welker.
I'd
as a
listen to him.
coach.
I
Even though
could
he
listen
can't coach, he can't teach certain receivers.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't know how to coach a big go up and get it guy. He wouldn't know what to do with that. But I mean, if you're a slant boy, if you like to go across the middle making, with the quick darts and shit, yeah, he could teach you that. But he's not teaching you anything downfield. You need solid Pro Bowl level players if you're going to be coaching these players.
I think that's something that we should do.
Some former 5th round pick coming in telling a 1st round pick how to do their job. Because you didn't know how to do your job when you were in the league. No one told you how to do it. So how can you tell someone else how to do it when you don't know how? How can you coach somebody on that? You can't.
Now you're opening up the door to an idea. I think that's something we should do. We're going to fill out an entire coaching staff. We can do an entire team using former players, and we can go from GM. With just an entire coaching staff of former players, and we do it the best way we know how to do it. What do you think?
Hey, why not? I don't know if they'll watch. I mean, I know it'll make it pretty graphic. I don't know if they'll watch though, but we could do that.
Can't hurt.
Can't hurt.
And that sounds great, guys. And to that, I'll say this. If you've here this long, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. You make sure you hit that like button. And I preface all that to say that we can't all be starters. And Boulevard can tell you better than anybody else what you can do.
Oh, I'll tell them what they can do. Wait. Did I have any other notes before I go through and tell them this thing that they need to know? Okay. One stupid thing. I looked at the strength of schedules, and apparently the AFC North as a whole has the highest strength of schedule. And from what I saw, I believe 3 of the 4 teams are at the top of the list for hardest schedules. And the NFC South is at the bottom of the list for the lowest strength of schedules. So
interesting.
Just something to know. Nothing special, nothing crucial or vital. Just something to know. All right.
Okay.
Voy, IKEA, Voy. The Fly Eagles fly. Remember that, y'all. Especially if you're going to Brazil for the game. Don't get kidnapped. Don't start random conversations with civilians. Don't go to the favelas. Stay the fuck around your hotel unless you're going to the game. With that said, anybody else who ain't going to the games, if you're hyped for the season, give me a hell yeah. Tell me how hyped you is in the comments and hit the bench.